Hi guys, welcome back to Loro TV. Did you know that at some point a Nigerian was the richest black woman in the world, beating popular American media personality Opray Winfrey to clinch the title? And as at 2023, she is the fourth richest black woman in the world and the second in Africa, coming after Isabel dos Santos, the daughter of former Angolan president Jose Eduardo, whose source of wealth is still in dispute. Hence, Alakija is seen as the richest African woman. Have you ever wondered who the richest woman in Nigeria is and how she made her money? Well, she isn't just the richest woman in Nigeria. At some point, she was named the richest woman in Africa and also the richest black woman of African descent. Africa is home to men and women whose success and wealth rival those of developed nations. Many of them started out with nothing more than a great idea and the will to succeed, but today, they are billionaire industrialists. These women and men of power have thrived in a continent that has long struggled with poverty, corruption and degradation, and while many others migrated to seek better opportunities, they saw Africa's potential and chose instead to remain in the continent, in the process positively influencing the economic and social lives of people within and outside their nations. As a woman with an empire diversified in fashion, prints, real estate and oil and gas, her resilience to fight and persist until she attained success is an inspiration to many people around the world. In this video, we bring to you the success story of Folorunsho Alakija, who is currently the second wealthiest woman in Africa and the third richest woman of African descent. Her story would sweep you off your feet. Stay tuned as we tell you how this woman of God garnered all of this wealth in a country regarded as the poverty headquarters of the world. But before we begin, if you're new to our channel, you're highly welcome to Loro TV, and please do also hit on that subscribe button. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can always stay notified and updated whenever we upload a new video. We upload very interesting contents every day. Without further ado, let's jump right into our story. On the 15th day of July 1951, Folorunsho Alakija was born into the Ogbara family of Ikorodu in Lagos State in the southwestern part of Nigeria. She is the eighth child of her father and the mother's second child. Alakija was raised in a Muslim polygamous home, surrounded by 52 siblings and 7 stepmothers. Back in the days, the Ogbaras of late Chief Ogbara and his wives were involved in textile industry. Whenever Folorunsho Alakija was home for the holidays, she would wake up very early and head to her mother's fashion shop. This was where and when her love for fashion took off. At a young age, she would combine colors excellently and creatively design fabrics of any type. Growing up in an entrepreneurial home informed Folorunsho Alakija's character. Under the informal tutelage of her parents, she learned how to manage a business and make it successful through great work ethics. Folorunsho Alakija and her siblings were taught to open up the shops early, handle customers properly, and manage to also manage the business finances. Her mother, though uneducated, was a smart businesswoman who kept working hard even in old age, despite her daughter amassing great wealth. For her primary school education, Folorunsho Alakija attended the Dinoben School for Girls at Hafondos Hall, Wales, in the United Kingdom. After that, she returned to Nigeria for her secondary school education at the Muslim High School in Shangamu, Ogun State, in the southwestern part of Nigeria. At first, Folorunsho Alakija's wish was to study law, but at that time, very few fathers were willing to fund their female child's university education. Most Nigerian parents believed that there was no use in educating the girls, since they would get married and become another man's property. Sadly, Folorunsho Alakija's father was one of them, and so she had to find other ways to become financially independent. In 1970, she traveled back to the United Kingdom and got her degree in secretarial studies from Pitman Central College, London. However, she knew that working in the corporate world would never give her the kind of success she wanted. It was the love for fashion that spurred her on to quit her secretarial job. She went on to pursue degrees in fashion design at the Central School of Fashion and the American College in London. Folorunsho Alakija got her first job at Sidgwick Enterprises in Lagos, where she was a confidential secretary in 1974. She worked there for about 18 months before going into the banking industry. Her second corporate job was at the former First National Bank of Chicago, now known as the First City Monument Bank. When it was clear that she wasn't going to be promoted along with her peers, Folorunsho Alakija knew it was time to move on. Already, she had a flair for combining different fabrics and creating original designs. So, taking a bold step, she quit her job and traveled to England to study fashion design. In 1986, after she got her degrees, Folorunsho Alakija returned to Nigeria to set up her business named Supreme Stitches. That enterprise was unlike any other tailoring business in Nigeria at that time. It was the start of a mega fashion brand that ladies in Nigeria and across Africa would strive to wear. She recognized the need for a fashionable, yet wholly Nigerian and African look and took full advantage of this opportunity. Just as the business started out, Folorunsho Alakija joined a fashion design competition. Her designs were so unique and creative that she won the contest and instantly became a sensation. Folorunsho Alakija built a fortune from designing and making high-end clothes for wealthy and successful women in the society. One of her clients was the former First Lady of Nigeria, Mariam Babangida. Supreme Stitches grew into a fashion powerhouse, influencing and reshaping the Nigerian outlook on female fashion and fashion in general. In a short time, the business turned into a national franchise with women of different backgrounds and social classes wearing her brand. It got to a point when local textile producers could no longer meet the level of demand. From what she realized, producing high-quality fabrics would mean traveling to Taiwan. Although they had the right amount of textile machines, Folorunsho Alakija was smart enough to know that the cost would cut into her profits. Choosing to make do with locally produced fabrics, she began searching for ideas to broaden her fashion interest. Then it clicked. Supreme Stitches became the place where one could get monogrammed or screen-written wares. It sold monogrammed t-shirts, tops, souvenirs, beddings, and more. In 2002, the name Supreme Stitches was changed to Rose of Sharon House of Fashion. But today, the business has grown from just a fashion business to the Rose of Sharon Group. This consortium includes 2 print media companies and a real estate enterprise. The fashion icon's leap into the oil and gas sector was an unprecedented move. Her connections to clients with political clout gave her the opening she needed to get started in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. Interestingly, the oil baroness previously had little plans to go into the oil and gas industry, as she had been looking out for government contracts. The idea and opportunity came about when a friend of hers asked her to make enquiries about the crude oil lifting business on her behalf. The minister she spoke to was more interested in people who would invest in Nigerian petroleum industry. Her friend wasn't interested in oil production. But Alakija saw its potentials. In May 1993, Alakija's new company, Famfa Oil Limited, applied for the allocation of an oil prospecting license. Her application was approved, granting her the right to exploit 617,000 hectares of the Agbami oil field in the central Niger Delta region of Nigeria. While powerful and rich Nigerians with oil blocks allocation turned over their oil wells to foreign companies, Alakija kept hers. The fact that she had no experience or expertise in the oil business did not deter her. 3 years later, in September 1996, Alakija led her company into a joint venture contract with Star Deepwater Petroleum Limited. The agreement included a transfer of 40% stake of the license to the Star Deep Petroleum, with Alakija as a majority shareholder. She also appointed the company as a technical advisor on license exploration matters. In the year 2000, the first appraisal world unveiled recoverable stores in the surplus of 1 billion barrels of oil equivalent. But before Alakija and her associates could reap the benefits of their efforts, the Nigerian government seized a 40% stake in the company. They ordered FAMFA to hand over 40% stakes to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation with immediate effect. An offer of remuneration was never on the table. That left FAMFA Oil with just a 20% stake in their investment in 2003. When it seemed that things were about to get better, the government struck another blow. Unsatisfied with 40% shares, it forcefully acquired another 10% stake in the company. Their actions brought chaos. Everything she and her family had worked for, all their sacrifices and investments were snatched up by the Nigerian government again. But Folorunsho Alakija was a woman of power and strength. Backed by her family, she went into battle with the Nigerian government. For 12 years, she fought back against her oppressors in and out of court. At the end of those hard years, her persistence and courage won her a remarkable victory, and in May 2012, the Supreme Court returned what was rightfully hers, and all attempts to appeal the Supreme Court decision failed woefully. Now, FAMFA Oil Limited is a top-earning Nigerian oil company with Chevron and Petrobras as its partners. Folorunsho Alakija's success story could not be complete without an account of her tremendous impact on the society. Her desire to help people, to meet the needs of others, and to see people succeed inspired her to create the Rose of Sharon Foundation. She founded the NGO with the aim of empowering women, specifically widows, orphans, and children. Her foundation has changed the lives of thousands of people in many ways. It also sets up primary to tertiary school scholarship programs, granted interest-free business loans, and enabled widows and the youth with skill acquisition program. Folorunsho Alakija's success story is a tale of hard work, persistence, courage, and the will to break through barriers. She not only created a $2 billion enterprise, but also has crafted a legacy that will last for generations. Alakija has succeeded in building her empire, marriage, and raising upstanding kids. Still fully active in the business world, she is involved in the management and strategic planning of her oil and real estate companies known as FAMFA Limited and Dayspring Property Development Company Limited. The 67-year-old mogul is the group managing director of the Rose of Sharon Group and the executive chairman of FAMFA Oil Limited. She is a living proof that success is not limited by gender, age, nationality, or financial backgrounds. Rather, success is a product of courage to take risks and stand up strong in the face of adversity.